Good evening. I wonder how many people are going to come on the next journey, the next little bit of Phyllis. Waiting. Oh, waiting. No. See? Chanel's there. Who's next? I was actually going to use my phone. Apparently it's better quality video. I just couldn't be asked getting it out. So we'll give it about 5 seconds or a few more people. Hello, Leonie Storm. Oh, love your stuff online, mate. Oh, some of those trousers are gorgeous. Good evening, Lou. How is it going with the dynamic Theo racing around the universe? I am sure that he is running you absolutely ragged. You'll be pleased to have him back at school. And tonight I was smart. Hi, Debbie. I bought a picture of the High Priestess out of one of the decks so that at least that was on screen, even though I've posted them on Facebook further down the bottom there. So it seems that Phyllis is quite a hit. So this is going to be fun, isn't it? Because tonight, Phyllis meets the High Priestess. Gotta love it, eh? How did you like the magician? Very dark. I'm sure most of us women have met a man like that, eh? And I'm sure most men have met a female magician who just has them mesmerized. Oh, Lou, first whiskey. Oh, my God. Right. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere else, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Okay. Excuse me. But try. And tonight's not going to be as long. In fact, none of them are going to be particularly long from here on in. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should actually stop and start again, but I'm not going to. Okay, now, the only message I got yesterday, which is really cool, was someone said you don't wear jewelry anymore. Hi, Jo Catherine, how are you? That I don't wear jewelry anymore, and it has been known for me in the past to wear jewelry. Way in past too. I used to have the most magnificent necklaces and bits and crystals and things. So I thought, okay, we'll start impressing everyone. Naked from 8 till 11. Oh my God, he would have been freezing his buns off, mate. Anyway, so I'm going to start wearing jewelry during this 21 days. This piece, oh, you can't quite see it. There it is. Oh, there it is. It's a little bit hard to see. It's ametrine, so it's purple and yellow. Now this piece was bought for me by my beautiful daughter in my last year, well actually my last couple of months of being in Australia. It was when she came over and said, Mum, I think it's time you came home. You know what? Sometimes you just got to listen to your daughter. So today I have on my fabulous ametrine. Okay, 6 people on board. Should we give it one more minute? One more minute. Amanda. Hi, Amanda. So I hope you're enjoying the journey of Phyllis. Now, someone else did say to me, what does Phyllis look like? Like, what does she wear? Well, I've decided now Leonie's on board here. Phyllis wears Storm, okay? Absolutely. She loves Storm. Nors, how are you? And I think she wears like some quite nice leather Converse as well, quite cash. She's who you think she is. I think she's a mix of everybody who I know. And I think she wears clothes that my clients make, and she wears hats that my clients make, and bags. Angie! Nors is over in the UK. Nat! Oh my God, you're all piling in. Well, last night we started when there was 11 people in. So off we go. So yes, Phyllis I think Phyllis is sort of quite ordinary but extraordinary. Actually, it would be nice if someone drew Phyllis. It'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, we're on the journey of the Fool. I'm sorry, I get carried away. I promised myself every time I won't do this, but I kind of look up the top and think, oh, let's just wait for a couple more people. But everybody's in by the look of it. We're at 10. So tonight, Phyllis meets the High Priestess. Smart me, actually got a card with it on. Now, as we know, Phyllis was sitting on a hill, all innocent and fabulous, not knowing anything, bit naive, no troubles, nothing to worry about. And she goes for a walk and sees a big spiritual psychic fair. And she decides she's going. So off she goes down the hill, into the gate, and there's no entrance fee, which is quite unusual. Usually you have to throw a gold coin in the fair, so Phyllis goes in. And the first person Phyllis met was the magician. Remember? Dark, had things to offer, told her about the elements, that he could help her with, you know, that he would grant her permission to explore and all of that sort of thing. So Phyllis has visited the magician. Now, Phyllis has done a bit of shopping. And what she's bought is some crystals, and she's bought some candles from a very hot-looking hippie boy who was hand-dipping his candles right there at his store. Then she sort of wandered over to a silversmith, and this girl was making the most beautiful little silver cups, just enough for a couple of spoonfuls of water or a shot of whiskey, Lou. And then she saw someone who was making hand-rolled incense. Now, we have to say someone because she couldn't tell whether it was male, female, or whatever. So probably gender neutral, which is fine. And this is not being rude or crude to anyone or being disrespectful. This is what the story is. So she now has her 4 elements that the magician said, hey, here you go. Here's the 4 elements. You can go learn what to do with them. In fact, I'll teach you. But when she left the magician, she bought these things, and now she's got her elements. She might have to go to the Third Eye and buy a new jute bag to put them in. Remember, we had that down on the on Facebook. I know I'm naughty, but why not make this interesting? Anyway, she sees opposite the magician two pillars. Okay, sort of like a little platform with 2 pillars and a throne. And on that throne, very sort of underlit, is a woman. And this woman is the High Priestess. And she's kind of opposite the magician. So for all these little shops and little stalls in between, her stall is as big as the magician's and is opposite. And Phyllis sort of goes, oh, you're lit up by the moon. But the High Priestess doesn't answer. So the High Priestess is a bit opposite to the magician. The magician talks. The High Priestess is silent. Okay? And where the High Priestess quietly observes, the magician is the one who likes being observed. So everything is opposite. The High Priestess is very sort of laid back. And she doesn't actually talk to Phyllis directly. But in Phyllis's head, Phyllis sort of suddenly hears all this stuff about her potential and what she might be able to do. And for all the magician has said, here, off you go. I'm going, here's all your stuff. The High Priestess is showing her unrealized potential. She is showing her what is beyond, if that makes sense. The High Priestess is our consciousness. She is the consciousness. She is working on Phyllis's consciousness, which is fantastic. because we love to work on the consciousness, don't we? Okay, so what she says is, you know, if this is what you want, you can have it. And so Phyllis goes, I kind of like that, but I'm not really quite sure what to do with all of this. And she's a little bit, now remembering we're on a journey, we've got a whole lot of other lessons to go. So the magician has kind of been very upfront, very masculine, very open, and here's what you can do. And now she's in front of the High Priestess who's going, well, I'm not speaking to you. I'm actually communicating with you in a very different way. And I'm telling you what your unlimited potential is, your what you could do. And Phyllis thinks, I've been here before. I can't figure it out. I really can't figure it out. But I feel as if I've been here before. Now, this is going to come in later on in one of the other cards. And it's almost like a deja vu, but she feels as if she's moved further along. And she's met someone who is feminine. She's met someone who is the total opposite of the magician. The total opposite. And this is quite polarizing for her. So now she is standing between the two stalls. She's got the magician on her left and she's got the High Priestess on her right. Or vice versa, it doesn't really matter. She's got her bag of her elements, which the magician says, here you go, love. I'm going to teach you what to do with them. And the High Priestess is saying, oh, you have so much potential. There's all sorts of things you can do with them, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to grant you permission to explore your potential with them. So does that make sense? So the magician is saying, this is what you do with them, like prescribed. Here's your book, get on with it. Whereas the High Priestess is saying, there's limitless possibilities here. You can explore to your heart's content. You know, there is more here than just an instruction book. You can go above and beyond. You can be whatever you want to be. And Phyllis says, well, she thinks, because remember, she's communicating with the High Priestess on a very different way. She says, well, actually, yeah, I don't know what to do with these elements. He says he's going to teach me, but I kind of think there's a price to be paid. So there's that whole sort of underlying, here's the masculine right out there. You know, this is what you're doing. This is how to do it. Whereas the High Priestess is offering her something completely different. And that in itself is a lesson to always remember when you go and do things such as workshops, or you're looking for a spiritual teacher. You know, there are the teachers that say, this is it. This is how you do it. Here's your book. You can't deviate from the book. Here's your tools. Here's the bits and pieces you need. That's it. No matter what you learn, there's always the magician. This is how you do it. This is how we've always done it. This is how we're going to do it forever and ever. Amen. Whereas the High Priestess style of teacher or master says, well, I'll teach you the basics. Here's some of the basics. Here's some of the things we know. And here's your tools. But go and do something with them. You don't have to stay tried and true. You don't have to do what we've done for years and years and years, because things have to change. And you have to use your intuition. And you have to look at the world around you and see what it needs. So you have two styles of teacher. There's the one who's tried and, you know, this is what you do. You can't deviate. And usually they're interesting. Usually they're the ones that keep secrets. They'll give you what you need to know. Like the magician. Here's what you need to know. But I'm not going to show you the real trick. I'll show you everything leading up to it. But the High Priestess goes, everything is open. I am an open book. You can ask me what you like. Hence why I said last night, you know, this is my way of doing things. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I don't give a fuck. This is my gig. And as a High Priestess kind of teacher, you can do what you like with it. And so that, and also the important lesson here is the magician is the masculine and the high priestess is the feminine of Phyllis, our little fool, learning about magic. So there you go. That's who Phyllis meets today. She's met the high priestess, just making sure, yep, it's all there. I've got a couple of little notes because sometimes I go on and, you know, I forget because I've learned so much. So I'm going to have a look. What happens? Yep, absolutely. Got it all there. Yep. So Phyllis has now learned that she has unrealized potential. And then suddenly, as she's leaving the high priestess's tent or space, she hears a little voice in her head. A feminine voice, a beautiful voice, a voice of the moon. And the voice says, follow your intuition. And that is a very important piece of advice that the high priestess gives Phyllis on her journey. So Phyllis is still at our psychic spiritual fair. And now she's visited 2 different kinds of teachers, which now she has to kind of sort her head out about. But tomorrow, she's going to meet the Empress. And the Empress is going to teach her another lesson altogether. So now I said earlier that sometimes in this journey you will recognize some of the lessons yourself. And I'm sure just in the Magician and the High Priestess, you have all recognized about teachers because all of you have a strong spiritual base. All of you are smart, clever, intuitive men and women, and you know the difference. So perhaps you've all been in that space before. Time to just stop and think on it. And let's send Phyllis on her way tomorrow and see what she's got to learn from the Empress. And remember, Phyllis at this point is still a bit confused and still really not quite sure. But she has been given the message. Right, there you go, people. I did blether on again. Because I do. Sorry. I'm going to put this on YouTube. Remember, Phyllis came to the High Priestess today. Oh, and also remember that by the time we've done all of the cards, if you don't understand this bit, by the time you get to the end of the journey, you'll understand it all. So don't try and understand everything all at once. Absorb it. And wait and see. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And I'm sure some of you will be bored absolutely fucking shitless. But then, hey, what else have you got to do? It's lockdown. Oh, you like it? Oh, I'm absolutely chuffed because I love doing this. And hey. Oh, someone says, can we have a card for the day? Would you like that? Do you want a quick A, B, and C? Okay. A, B, or C. Very quick. Very, very fast. A, B, or C. Okay. Got it? If you've chosen A, don't get upset. Just because you can't do something doesn't mean you're not going to do it soon. Okay? Just because something's been delayed by our lockdown doesn't mean it's not going to happen. All right? Don't get upset. If you've chosen B, strong, gentle strength and lion strength. Know how to balance it. You know how to balance strengths. Oh, look at you, sea girls. Oh, the spiral staircase, Ace of Wands. Going a bit round in circles, people, but you are going upwards and you are focused. And the, what do you call it? The bonus card is the sisterhood. Camaraderie, keeping it together, being the fabulous women and men we are, although I don't think there's any men on here tonight, being the fabulous women we are and supporting each other wholly and totally. Okay, love ya. Bye. The World card. What's the World card? weird. Oh, the weird card. Yes, it is. We shouldn't call it the bonus card. We should call it the weird card because it's the destiny card. Okay, bye.